Welcome back. A quick recap of the last two topics, market risk and inflation. And now we want to talk about the Thrift savings plan. Now, Patrick, now that we live in the DMV, I imagine you have a lot of experience with helping federal employees with their Thrift savings plans.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a major market with a lot of employees, right? Both federal and private sector. So I deal with both plans, both the TSP and, regular private sector plans, 401ks, 403bs, things like that. And what I've found out with dealing with all these different plans and all the different people is not one plan is perfect, right? They all have their pluses and they all have their minuses. Whether it's in the accumulation phase, pluses or minuses, or the distribution phase, they all have them. And it's important that you understand the limits and maybe limitations and restrictions that your plan has.
Specifically with the TSP, what are some of the pluses and minuses?
Great question. I think when I look at the Thrift Savings Plan, especially during the accumulation phase, I think there are a lot of pluses there. The saving part is very important, and they do a great job on that part. When a new employee comes to the federal government, they're opted into the plan. 5% of their salary goes into the plan, and the federal government matches 5%. So right off the bat, they're at 10% of their salary. That's great. Then the investment, the choices for investment are really simple, really easy. They have 3 stock portfolios. They have a large cap, a small cap, and an international. So they have the C, S, and I index funds. And then there are 2 bond portfolios, the F and the G. So really there's 5 indexes that they can invest their money. And then there are the lifestyle funds, and it's just a mixture of those 5 funds and those 5 indexes. So for the accumulation phase, I think it's real simple, not complex. Throw your money in there, keep adding to it, let it build up and accumulate for the distribution phase. And I think that's where the plan has some of its negatives, its restrictions and limitations. It's in the distribution phase. It's when you're taking the money out. It's how the money's invested when we're retired, and it's in index funds. And index funds are not managed, and they're not tactical. So you're going to get all the upside, but you also get all the downside. I like my clients to be more tactical and have their assets more managed because we can control the downside a little bit better. The second downside is when we start taking money out of the plan in the distribution phase, and we can't control where the distribution comes from. And what I mean by that is, if we have an individual with 2 funds in their Thrift Savings Plan, one is in a stock index and one is in a bond index. If the stock index is down, and let's say the bond index is up or flat, when we take money out of the plan, we have to take out the same dollar amount from both. We have to take out equal amounts. So if we take $20,000 out, 10 has to come out of the portfolio that's down. We've just locked in a loss for that $10,000. The other $10,000 comes from the bond portfolio. So I like for my clients to have options. Take it from the portfolio that's up or flat, not from the portfolio that's down. That's a big restriction and big limitation.
If anyone watching is a federal employee who has questions about the TSP, how can you help them?
Well, they can give us a call. We have a local number. It's 410-599-3300. They can call. We've set aside 10 appointments this week for people to come in and have a discussion about their retirement plan. If you're a federal employee, you want to talk about your Thrift Savings Plan and the distribution aspect of that, give us a call. I'd be more than happy to sit down and talk with you. And then you can use our QR code here on the screen, take a picture, it goes right to my calendar, and grab one of the appointments that way.
Patrick, thank you so much for your time and expertise. You've been a wealth of information about these retirement planning topics. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.